If you're well into your adventures throughout the troubled lands of Cyrodiil, you may have run across one of the 16 Daedric shrines scattered about. These are statues dedicated to each of the Daedric gods. Except Mehrune's Dagon, of course, we're currently very cross with him. But more importantly, each is associated with a Daedric quest you can take on at the proper character level, and each of which offers a unique magical item that can really open doors for you, sometimes literally. More importantly, you are required to obtain at least one reward from a Daedric quest to progress in the main campaign, so you'll have to work with at least one of these demigods regardless. If you'd like to help these lesser deities with their weird hobbies, then here's a guide for when and where to find them all.
A final fanfare for the High Elf. Farewell.
As soon as you reach just level 2, meaning you've leveled up at least one time, you'll unlock the first quests for the first two Daedric gods, Azura and Sheogorath. I absolutely recommend going for Azura first, as the reward she grants is an infinitely reusable soul gem that's indispensable once you start collecting enchanted weapons. Before you get started, you'll need to bring along some glow dust, which you can get by killing Will-o'-the-Wisps, or if you don't have the patience for that like me, just head on over to the main ingredient in the Imperial City Market District and buy some from our boy Ogier Georick. Then, to find her shrine, head north of Cheydinhal and look for her bust surrounded by a handful of worshippers. Interact with the statue at dusk or dawn to get a prompt to use the glow dust. After speaking with her, she'll send you to a nearby cave to go kill some vampires, then you can swing right back to collect your prize. Next up is Sheogorath, whose shrine you can find in the complete opposite direction, due just northwest of Leowen, off the side of the road. To appease the mad god, though, you'll need to bring along a lesser soul gem, lettuce, and yarn. The latter two show up in random crates, barrels, and sacks throughout any settlement, so should be pretty easy to find. A lesser soul gem is also pretty easy to get your hands on, and can be picked up free of charge from pretty much any Mages Guild hall, including the one in Leowen. With your shopping list of random items in tow, head over to Sheogorath's statue and receive a quest where you'll be ushering in a dark prophecy just to mess with some locals. Once you're done, you'll receive a ridiculous staff called Wabbajack, which turns any creature you use it on into a different random creature, from Daedroth to rats, for 10 seconds. It's a bag of chaos and fun. Also, it's worth mentioning that this quest has nothing to do with the much more elaborate Sheogorath quest line where you travel to the Shivering Isles. That's a separate thing that you absolutely should play, but I wouldn't recommend it at a low level. After a bit more questing, you'll be ready to help out Namira and Vaermina once you reach level 5. I recommend starting out with Namira, whose shrine can be found southeast of Bruma. Namira loves sloppy folks, so she won't talk to you unless your personality stat is 20 or lower. How can you accomplish this if you've already leveled that stat up? The same way you do in real life. Go buy a bunch of cheap wine and chug it all. You can find cheap wine all over Cyrodiil, especially at pretty much any tavern or bar, and the more you gulp down, the more hideous and unlikable you'll become. Or, of course, you can also get it from Ogier Georick at the main ingredient. Do so at Namira's shrine and she'll gladly give you a quest where you have to go to some ruins and help her enact the purge on some pesky monks. Yeah, sounds pretty mean to me, but hey, when the job's done, you'll get the Ring of Namira out of it, which reflects damage and spells. Sounds more than worth some morally questionable shenanigans to me. Next up, you can find Vaermina's shrine southwest of Cheydinhal, but the god won't talk to you unless you present a black soul gem, which is a fairly hard thing to get your hands on in Cyrodiil, because it's used by malevolent necromancers to steal mortal souls, which is hella evil. You can occasionally find these things out in the world, but it's much easier to just make your own. Here's how. You'll need to find one of 4 evil altars located out in the world. I think the easiest to find is Fort Asteris east of Kavach. When you find one, wait until just after midnight and look for a faint glowing red light being cast down on the altar. This signifies that it's evil o'clock in Cyrodiil. There's actually a whole cycle behind this called the Shade of the Revenant that happens every 8 days, and I could explain all the details behind how this works because no women spoke to me as a teenager. But it's not super important that you understand all that. What is important is that you want to put a Grand Soul Gem into the altar, cast Soul Trap on the altar itself, then open it again to find that you've created a Black Soul Gem. You can convert as many Grand Soul Gems into Black Soul Gems this way as you please, which are like regular Soul Gems except, and again, this is super evil if you do it, but you can suck up humanoid NPC souls when you kill them, and trap them in a crystal to fuel your enchanted weapons. Anyway, you only need one Black Soul Gem to appease Vaermina, and it needs to be empty. You can find a handful of Grand Soul Gems just hanging out in Mages Guild halls, including 3 in the Imperial City Arcane University. As for a Soul Trap spell, you can find the most basic version of that available to purchase at any Mages Guild hall as well, though you will need to be at least level 25 in Mysticism to use it, so spam the weakest Mysticism spell you have to level yourself up, which only takes a few minutes, or buy yourself a Soul Trap Skull, which you might be able to find in the same places. Then head over to Fort Isterus, wait for the evil light, and turn your Grand Soul Gem into a Black Soul Gem by soul trapping. Wow, what a detour that was. What were we even doing again? Right, with your Black Soul Gem in hand, head to Vaermina and give it to her, then she'll send you to steal an orb back from a nerd wizard who took it. He's not in a good place at the moment. Take the orb back to Vaermina to get the Skull of Corruption magical staff, which is pretty hilarious. Using it on almost any NPC will create an evil twin of that person to follow you around and do your bidding for 30 seconds. Unfortunately, using the staff on someone is considered assault, and the evil doppelganger it produces will usually just try to murder their other half immediately, so you might have trouble finding many practical uses for it. Still pretty funny though. You did it! You got to level 8. Time to celebrate in style by going to talk to Sanguine, god of revelry and hedonism. You can find his shrine northwest of Skingrad. Sanguine demands a bottle of Cyrodiilic brandy to get the party started, which you can find once again at the main ingredient from our best friend and brother-in-arms, Ogier Georick. Party on, my friend. Sanguine will tell you to go cast a spell at a certain dinner party. This will almost certainly cause you to be arrested, but it's worth it. Just make sure to stash all your stolen goods somewhere first and be ready to pay a small fine. Then cast the spell and watch chaos unfold. You don't even need to actually get yourself into the room where the party is happening, but it's more fun if you do. Go back to Sanguine's statue and he'll give you Sanguine Rose, which summons a Daedra to help you in battle. Hell yeah. Once you've reached level 10, a whole bunch of new Daedric quests will open for you, including the most important one since way back at level 2 with the Azura quest. This is the Nocturnal quest, which can be started at the statue found northeast of Leowyn. No offering is required to begin this quest, and it's one of the easier missions to complete. Once you've helped Nocturnal out, head back to the shrine to receive the Skeleton Key, a lockpick that will never break, meaning you can open any lock by spamming the auto attempt button, and which will help you reach level 100 in security in no time at all. Absolute game changer. Next up, let's help Peryite, a dragon-shaped Daedric prince found in a pretty remote area on the south side of the Silverfish River. No offering is required for this quest either, and you'll be headed to Oblivion to kill some baddies and save some lost souls. As a reward, you'll get a shield that can absorb incoming spells. Not bad. Meridia's statue will also talk to you at level 10, which can be found west of Skingrad. Leaving undead materials like bone meal, ectoplasm, or mort flesh will satisfy this god. You can find bone meal all over the place since skeletons grow like weeds in Tamriel, but if you want to just buy something instead, you can find ectoplasm on sale at All Things Alchemical in Skingrad. Just kidding, buy it from Ogier Georick at the main ingredient. Talking to Meridia will start a quest to kill some necromancers in a cave. Pretty straightforward stuff. Kill them and come back to get the Ring of Khajiit, which makes you faster and partially invisible. This one's pretty nice for sneaking around and pairs quite nicely with your new Skeleton Key. Finally, you can find Malacath's statue northwest of Anvil. Malacath requires troll fat before you can talk to him. Luckily, you can find some troll fat at the Skingrad's Mages Guild locked under a display case. But guess what? You have the Skeleton Key, baby! Take that shit! Wait, what's that you say? You aren't really in the mood for larceny? Fear not, friend. Ogier Georick at the main ingredient sells it. Seriously, this dude has everything. Malacath can be a pretty mean guy, but in this case, he wants you to free some slaves, so you should help him with that. Once done, head back to his shrine to receive a giant warhammer called Volendrung. This enchanted weapon paralyzes enemies on hit and drains their health, making it one of the best blunt weapons imaginable at level 10. Right on. You've reached level 15. You've been working so hard lately. You know what would be a nice break? A quick Daedric quest with the god of murder, lies, and deception. Go on, treat yourself. You can find Mephala's shrine north of the Imperial City and will need some nightshade as an offering. But guess who sells that? That's right, it's Ogier Georick at the main ingredient, baby. What up, fam? Bring the nightshade to the shrine between midnight and dawn, and you'll start a quest to kill 2 people and pin it on one another. Search each of the village leaders' homes carefully to find items with the character's name on it, then kill them and frame them for the crime by placing those items on one another's corpses. Then watch all hell break loose and head back to Mephala's shrine. You'll get the Ebony Blade for your trouble, a katana that absorbs health and silences those hit with it, so they can't cast magic. At level 17, you've got 2 more Daedric princes to chat with. Hircine's bust can be found south of the Imperial City, and he'll take a bear pelt or a wolf pelt as tribute. You can take these off the corpses of bears and wolves that appear literally all over the place in Cyrodiil. Hircine will send you on a quick little hunting trip, then you're back to receive the Savior's Hide, a piece of light armor that helps you resist magical attacks. Next, we've got Molag Bal. You know the guy who invaded Tamriel and almost destroyed all of Nirn in the events of the Elder Scrolls Online? Yeah? Well, now we're going to help him with a completely minor task. Let bygones be bygones, I guess. His statue is west of the Imperial City, and he wants a lion pelt as tribute. You can kill lions all over, so go on and do that, and bring their skin to old Molag. He'll set you on a path to make a really sad guy mad at you, then let him win a fight against you like you've received a homework assignment from your local fight club. After that's done, you'll be transported back to the shrine and get the Mace of Molag Bal, a one-handed blunt weapon that absorbs strength and magicka. Not bad. You've been through so much, and now you're level 20. Congratulations, you're now ready for the final 3 Daedric quests. First up, I recommend Boethia, whose statue is in the Vallis Mountains way over in the eastmost side of Cyrodiil. Boethia wants a Daedra heart, and if you've ever been anywhere near an Oblivion Gate, you should know just how easy these are to get. But dude, my guy, my bro, if you somehow don't have one, wouldn't you know it, it's our legendary homie, Ogier Georick at the main ingredient, coming in clutch yet again. Aw yeah! Give a Daedric heart to Boethia, and she'll have you take part in an anime-style tournament arc where you'll kill a bunch of your fellow contestants. Then, once you stand victorious, you'll receive Goldbrand, a katana that deals fire damage. A pretty great weapon overall. Next, we'll do Clavicus Vile, the Daedric god of trickery, bargains, and cutting coupons, probably. You'll find his effigy southwest of the Imperial City, and this guy just wants cold hard cash. Yup, just bribe the guy with 500 gold, then give the dude your credit card number, date of birth, and social, and you're in. The quest has you tracking down a sword called Umbra, and interestingly, you can decide to not give the sword to Clavicus, foregoing his gift to you, but gaining a cool sword instead. Either option will complete the quest. If you keep the sword, you'll get an ebony sword that soul traps anything it hits automatically, a great way to fill up all your soul gems. Alternatively, you can deliver the soul to Old Vile, and he'll bestow upon you the Mask of Clavicus Vile, a helmet that improves your personality like a paper bag over that fugly face. Got him. And now, with all the other Daedric quests completed, you now qualify for the final quest, which can only be completed once you've finished all the others. This is Hermaeus Mora, god of forbidden knowledge. His shrine is the hardest to get to by far, located way out in the frosted mountains west of Cloud Ruler Temple in the Georick Mountains. Even after you've completed all the other Daedric quests and found his shrine though, this prude still won't talk to you if you haven't reached the chapter in the main story called Blood of the Daedra. So make sure you've at least put a bit of time into the story if you want to get this final god's attention. Once you do get to talk to him, you'll be told you need to soul trap and kill one member of every mortal race in Tamriel. That's right, you're given a very specific murder shopping list to go out and complete. In order to complete this quest, you'll have to cast the spell provided to you called Mora's Soul Trap. Honestly, the fastest way to complete this task is to simply kill the followers in front of the Daedric shrines you've been to so far. There's at least one of each of the 10 races you've got to kill, they're all super weak, and they're far away from societies that would have cause to arrest you. If you want to be extra careful and you've completed the Thieves Guild questline, you can don the Grey Cowl of Nocturna to keep your murders secret. If you don't want to kill these named characters though, even though they're pretty irrelevant now honestly, then you can just look for specific races as you run around killing bandits and necromancers and whatnot, using Mora's Soul Trap as you go. No rush at all if you want to do it this way. Once you've soul trapped and killed one member of each race, you can return to Mora's statue and receive a book called the Ogma Infinium. This thing rules, as once you read it, it'll permanently increase a bunch of your stats. Choose the Path of Steel to increase your speed and strength attributes by 10, and your blade, blunt, and heavy armor skills by 10 as well. The Path of Shadow will do the same for your agility and speed attributes, and your light armor, security, and sneak skills. And the Path of Spirit will increase your willpower and intelligence attributes, and your conjuration, destruction, and restoration skills. This book can even level your attributes and skills beyond the maximum normally attainable. But based on my testing, doing so isn't super helpful because you aren't given additional stat benefits from doing so that I can tell. One last thing before we go. As part of Oblivion's original DLC pipeline, there is one other Daedric artifact you can get called Mehrune's Razor. This legendary blade is technically a Daedric weapon and is super cool, but it's not required to do the final quest with Hermaeus Mora, and it doesn't count as a Daedric artifact for the purposes of the Blood of the Daedric quest, where you'll need to collect one. Still, it's a neat little bonus quest you can take on at any point in your journey, and it nets you an awesome weapon in the process. And that's it. You've now completed all 16 Daedric quests in Oblivion Remastered. What a trip that was, huh? Anyway, don't forget to pay one final visit to Ogier Georick at the main ingredient, just to hang out and spark up a joint with our new bestie. And for everything else, in the world of Tamriel, stick with IGN.